Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD, a modification for Total War Rome 2. And I'm really excited about this one, and it's probably going to go on a little long, despite the fact that we're probably going to get crushed. But in today's episode, we are fighting against the Cuman Confederacy. Now, many of you watching have not heard of the Cumans, or if you have, it's just as a faction in a game and without further detail. But they have a rich and interesting history in this period and are very strongly connected with the Byzantine Empire, and may have even been pivotal to the survival of the empire, as you will see later. Known in the Rus lands as Polovtsky, and known by the Byzantines as the Scythians, at least by Anna Komnena, they are a Turkic tribe related to the Seljuks. They settled in the Danube area from the northern Black Sea in what is now Bulgaria and Romania. In the early days, they plundered the Byzantine area of Thrace around the 11th century, and they, at different times, were both allied to and enemies of the Byzantines and the Nicaean Empire, as well as the Bulgarians. They did manage to sack the Kievan Rus city of Kiev, capital of Kiev, in 1201, which took place, obviously, 10 years or so prior to when this mod takes place. The Cumans had no overarching strategic goals, according to a gentleman by the name of Istvan Vasari in his paper, Cuman Warriors in the Fight of Byzantium with the Latins, which I will link to below. He said that their short-term goal was robbery and pillage, and that their contributions to battle were their large numbers and their war style, or war technique, which was effectively using light cavalry, light horsemen, to harass and then feign retreat, only then to turn around and fiercely attack the now tired and spread out enemy over a large period of area. They are known in relation to the Byzantines from two great battles, the Battle of Levounion and the Battle of Pelagonia. The Battle of Levounion took place on April 29th, 1091, in southern Thrace, so what is now the province of Edirne in Turkey, near the modern city of Enez. And to understand Levounion, you really need to understand the Battle of Manzikert, which took place 20 years earlier. At Manzikert, the empire was beaten so badly by the Seljuk Turks that they lost most of their prime Anatolian heartland, and also the ability to recruit local troops and grow grain. So it was a very devastating loss to the empire, and many contemporaries felt that the empire was weak and ready to be toppled. Among those were a group of nomadic horsemen known as the Pechenangs, and they lived in the north of the Black Sea, so what is now modern-day Ukraine area, and they invaded south toward Constantinople. They were reported to have 80,000 people. The emperor at the time, Alexios Komnenos, he could muster maybe 20,000 men, and he knew he was in trouble. So what he did was he wooed the Cumans with promises of gold, and they joined up. Under their khans Boniak and Turgor Khan, they brought 40,000 of their own light horsemen to the aid of the Byzantines. What resulted was a complete slaughter of the Pechenangs. They were absolutely crushed. Alexios' daughter, Anna Komnena, wrote, "One could see an extraordinary spectacle, the whole people, reckoning not in tens of thousands but surpassing any number, entirely perished on that day with wives and children. The Scythians, because of one day, did not see May." And that day was April 29th, 1091. And of the Cumans, she wrote, their chiefs, Boniac and Tugorkhan, must be justly reckoned among the saviors of the Byzantine Empire. Now, any of you who follow my channel know she didn't actually say the Byzantine Empire, which was a term that didn't even exist at that time, but rather she probably said something like the Romans. But everywhere I looked on the internet said Byzantine, because, well, I guess they think people are dumb, or something, I don't know. The next battle, Pelagonia, was later, after the time period of this mod, in September of 1259. In this battle, the Empire of Nicaea, along with mercenaries of many nationalities, but the largest of which being the Cumans, who supplied 2,000 light cavalry, squared off against the Despotate of Epirus, Sicily, and the Principality of Achaia. According to Wikipedia, this battle was notable for two main reasons, one big and one small. The big one was that by winning this battle, the Nicaeans essentially ensured their reconquest of Constantinople, their recovery of Greece, and the destruction of the Latin Empire. But more interestingly, the small highlight of this battle was that it was the last recorded appearance of the Varangian Guard. So we are going to be fighting the Cumans on the grassland of Odessos, which is roughly around the Danube, in the grasslands around the Danube. It's a battlefield that favors the Cumans, who, by the way, I'm going to be setting, let me fix this right now, as the defenders. Well, you know, actually, while all my battles I've been the defender, this one actually makes sense. There's no valid reason why the Empire would attack the Cumans. Let's just say that they're raiding lands for some reason. They're plundering, and the Empire just finds themselves up there trying to fight them. Now, I've completely restructured my army. Gone are the Varangians. Gone are the cataphracts. Gone are most of the infantry. What we basically have is a small infantry group of 3 heavily shielded spearmen who are going to be guarding 3 units of foot archers. What's left is our general, who is a pronoiaroi, 1 unit of Turkoman horse archers, and 4 units of our medium cavalry, the cavallerioi. They're our fastest melee cavalry unit. Still nowhere close to the Cumans, but we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting to be crushed. The Cumans apparently have their army disappeared, but that's okay, because I saved it. So what they have is they are led by Cuman noble horse archers. That's their general. They have 4 units of Cuman horse skirmishers, 5 units of Cuman light horse archers, and 3 units of Cuman noble horse archers. So as you can see, they're a light cavalry, nomadic people. Most of their units are horse archers. But I did give them 2 units of foot archers and 2 units of Slavic spearmen to back them up. As you can see, that's their only national troops. All that's left to them is mercenaries. I did not want to hire any of those because it doesn't make a lot of sense. These are people who, their own rationale, their own reason for being is to be mercenaries in other people's armies. Again, their main goal was to subsist off plunder and robbery. They were not interested in forming a nation and conquering territory. They just wanted a little bit of booty. Don't we all? And so to have them hiring mercenaries just doesn't seem to be very historically accurate. So we're going to go with this. And again, I truly believe that we're going to get crushed. But let's see how things go. I think this is a little river, possibly the Danube, but mostly grasslands, which will definitely aid them because they are mostly horsemen. Tears at times have all the weight of speech, so says Ovid. Alright. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to take our 3 spearmen, and they are going to... Excuse me, sir, I'm talking. They are going to hold the front. To do nothing again but basically protect our 3 archers Didn't I? Ah, there we go. Create the group. And the spearmen, you guys will be a group as well. Alright, so now with my cavalry, there's a lot of things to do. They already have our cavallerioi off to the flank. Come on. Can I not move you? There we go. Yeah, that's fine. This is kind of a weird battle. I'll put my heavy cavalry in the back with the general. Because the right flank is a bit more sketchy. Yes, that's a technical term. The left flank is pretty much flat grassland. The right flank is a river. In fact, we may be able to take advantage of that. I think I'm going to. Well, not much of a river, to be honest. But let's see what we can do here. And then our archer group. I don't know. I honestly don't think that this river is a large enough terrain impediment to really make a difference. So you can go there. And actually, General, we'll put you kind of closer. Okay. Again, I'm not expecting to win this. I won't lose any face if I don't, because we are fighting an army that basically I consider that this mod underprices quite a bit. I mean, you saw all the units I was able to order for the money compared to the small number of relative units I was able to order as the Byzantines. And it's not as if, or the Nicaeans, I'm sorry. And it's not as if the Nicaean units are much higher quality. As you'll see when the battle actually commences, these horse archers tear us up. So I think they might be a little, either the Nicaeans are overpriced or the Cumans are underpriced. But we are going to pause the battle because they move so fast, there's no way I could show you all of them in time if the battle was still going on. So let's just take a look at them. They're using a really peculiar setup. They've got their regular Cuman archers here in the front. I like the hair, buddy. It's very nice. Very heavily armed for nomadic steppe people, but there you have it. These are the Cuman noble horse archers. I like the hat. These are the strongest unit that they field. And they do look pretty imposing. We have a number of units of these. Here are the Cuman horse skirmishers. I like the Cuman attire. You can tell it kind of has the Turkic, I would say Asiatic style to their clothing. Not just the hats, but also the kind of robe-ish things they're wearing. Let's look back here. This is, yeah. I mean, granted, I have no idea what traditional Cuman attire looks like, but I would assume that it looks something like this. So we've got one other type of horseman in this battle, too. Somewhere. Horse skirmishers, yes, yes, yes. Ah, here we go. Light horse archers. Although they don't look that different. They pretty much look the same as the horse skirmishers, except the horse skirmishers have a spear. Although I'm sure they have some kind of bow as well, because they use it. Let's see, can we look behind them? Maybe it's strapped on their back. Ah, there it is. Oh, no, that's the horse archer. Where's the skirmisher? Okay. So it doesn't appear as if on the model right now they have a bow, but I am pretty sure that they are going to pull out a bow because these are ranged cavalry units. So maybe they'll pull it out of the horse's butt. I'm not sure, but they do have a bow. And then, of course, the light horse archers. But look at the detail. I mean, look at that right there on the seat, the shoulder straps. This is really nice. Okay, so that leaves us with the general and the infantry, the Slavic spearmen. So here are the Slavic spearmen. They are not armed quite as well, or armored, I should say, quite as well as the horsemen. I don't see... Oh, these guys are. This gentleman here. Maybe he made a little bit of extra money on the side and was able to afford his mail. But the shields are nice, of course. One thing I really love about this mod, and I suppose the art that they maybe borrowed from other mods, is the really awesome shield design. So this guy is the general. This is the Cuman noble horse archers. Let's see. That must be this guy right here with the mace and the really cool full face helm. Wow. I don't know if I'd want to see this guy on the battlefield. So let's get started. Why not? I mean, we're only 15 minutes into the video. Let's start the battle. So we are the attackers, sadly for us. So the first step is going to be to move close enough in range so that we could use our melee archers. But again, we're going to get crushed here. You can see this. I mean, we're completely outnumbered. And their troops are all ranged troops except for their Slavic spearmen who they have in the back. Move you up. Rather than try to flank, we're moving these guys up cautiously to basically, if they try to charge our infantry, we can affect the battle from there. But again, we're going to lose. Let's just be fair. I've noticed that in a few of these battles. I think the Nicaeans are overpriced for what you get. Either that or these other factions, specifically the Rus and the Cumans, are underpriced for what you get. Now, I'm assuming you've already seen the Nicaeans in 3 other battles, so you don't need me to zoom in and show them again. So they're just waiting patiently. My guess is that as soon as we get within range, they're just going to start pelting us with arrows. So we should be careful about that. I can't really see how far they can shoot. I can see how far I can shoot. But I guess I'm supposed to just figure out how far they can shoot by when they start shooting. Kind of an ugly day. Some gray clouds.
Check your weapons. I'm down to check again.
Where are the skirmishers? I'm going to watch them to see if they bring out a bow at some point.
They better get moving soon.
Alright, we'll go back into fast forward. Alright. We're still outside of their range, I guess. What are you doing? That is not the plan, gentlemen. I thought when you selected a group, the group would stay in formation. That is not the case.
Warriors, move out! Archers! At speed!
So we're just going to have to do that ourselves. Might as well have been individual units then. What's the point of grouping them? Although I'm sure there's some way to do it that I'm just not aware of. You know, that actually might be a good idea for you guys to form a shield wall.
Get your shields up!
Let's see how that looks. Okay, so they just get tighter together. That's probably for the best. And, is that arrows? No, that's just the shadows of birds.
You have our spears!
And my axe! And my bow. Wait, sorry. Wrong franchise.
For Macedon!
Alright, they have yet to come under fire. My troops are just out of range. Let's say here.
Service of the people! Run, curse you!
And they're running. Well, I wouldn't necessarily advise that, but I guess my spearmen will get there in time. Still not quite there, huh?
Missiles ready and waiting! For Macedon!
You guys have terrible range. I just have to say, they'll be able to cross that distance in like 10 seconds. These archers, I mean, these guys are crapping their pants. Let's just be honest. They are not happy. And here they come. Okay. quick pause just to see what's going on. They are all charging as a united front. Let's get these guys going against their archers. These guys are going to stay here to protect this flank, as will these guys. The spearmen, well, archers fall back at speed. Okay, you're doing it. How come you're not doing it? And then you guys just stay where you are. Okay, so far so good. They just kind of realigned. They haven't actively changed their positioning, but they have left their archers kind of in a precarious position. My archers are facing the wrong direction. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Oh, okay. So here come the first volleys from both sides. And yes, the skirmishers are shooting. Oh, no, those are the horse archers. But here, no, those are still our horse archers. They're the skirmishers. They're not doing anything. Okay. So noble horse archers on that side. That's actually a pretty good situation for them. Let's get them, and let's try to use our horse archers against their nobles. Already this group is getting shaken a bit due to having taken fire. To be honest, they're using very poor tactics. If they would just charge me, we'd pretty much be dead. And now their skirmishers and nobles are abandoning their foot archers. Huh. Our shield walls are sort of holding. Alright. I thought we were supposed to be attacking these archers. Let's do it, please. Actually, let's hit them with these guys, too, since they're just kind of standing still. Our melee cavalry is getting attacked by their nobles. Let's the general. Let's kind of make him uncomfortable. Oop, back off. I'd appreciate it if you ran. That would certainly be nice. Horse skirmishers. Okay, they're trying to flank us. We are not going to allow that. Combat is even against the Cuman archers, so that's good to know. Let's withdraw. Okay, we're fighting with these archers. We have our horse archers now. Okay, where's our general? We're actually doing okay, believe it or not. And he's just hanging out. I forgot all about him. Let's get him involved in the battle against their general. If we could, oh, that's their general here. Those just random dudes. Are you on skirmish mode? Is that why you're not engaging? No, you wouldn't be. Unit slightly winning against the archers. Well, that's good. We're doing okay. I'm not displeased here. Keep our cavalry back here. Actually, let's go finish off these archers real quick. Oh, never mind. They want to join the battle again. Let's leave these guys alone. They're just outrunning us and making us look silly. Let's shoot the Slavic spearmen. We are actually doing really well. My first battle, it was an abject slaughter. Let's see, you guys. Let's see if you can't. Oh, really? You're out of arrows? Okay, so now's where things start getting a little dicey. Yeah, charge them. Why not? They're engaged. You're worthless to me, otherwise. Moving the spearmen is just it's a foolish proposition because they won't catch up with anything. Although I guess we could take on their own spearmen. And, oh, these guys are having a bad day. Alright. Unskirmish you. Oh, spearmen got involved and I didn't notice. That was my fault. In fact, let's not get my horse archers involved with spearmen. Probably not the best idea. Let's shoot him, though. Shooting him is perfectly acceptable. Alright, now we're getting their nobles from behind with our spearmen. That should be cool. Here's our... You can tell our guys, of course, is we're colorful. And we have swords versus their small maces. Nice. Oh, right, their nobles fleeing. Or not fleeing, but shaken a little bit. That's awesome. Let's get these guys to help these guys out. Those horse skirmishers are shaken as well. I guess seeing the noble fall is too much for them. We won this battle! I was not in any way expecting to win this battle. That is crazy. That is absolute nonsense, but good for us, I guess. I guess shoddy tactics on the AI's part, just standing there. If they would have just charged me with everything and then did what they were supposed to do, fire their arrows, turn around, and flee, causing my men to chase after them, they would have crushed us. But somehow, some way, we won this battle. Let's see what happened. This is what happened. Our archers. Our foot archers took out about 800 of their units total. Look at that. They both gained 2 chevrons. They were our power players. See, this is what I did. In the previous time I played them, I used my typical army. You know, cataphracts, Varangians, mostly infantry. And obviously they were torn apart. But the biggest weakness of horse archers are foot archers that they can't get to, that are supported by some kind of infantry that are guarding them. In this case, my spears, who, if you look at, they all lost less than half of their units. They didn't kill anybody. I mean, they were just standing there protecting the archers, but they didn't need to. They did their job. These guys lost 16. These guys didn't lose anything. Or, I'm sorry, they killed 16. These guys didn't kill anything. And again, they survived pretty well. These guys weren't even touched. Now, our horse archers themselves weren't touched. They killed 90. Our general didn't do anything, but he survived pretty much. Our cavallerioi, they were the workhorses of this battle. This guy didn't kill anything. He's probably the one that went out with the general to try to get that one stray group of horse archers. And he lost about half his men. This group did the best. They killed 58, but lost more than half. This group was entirely crushed and only killed 44. And this group lost a little bit less than half and killed 39. On the Cuman side, their nobles killed about 40. Their horse skirmishers did not do very well at all. And they were mostly crushed. So here's what happened. Here's what happened. They actually didn't deploy that many troops relative to me, only about 200 more. It looked big because they were on horses and took up a lot of space, but they were actually relatively small units. So when you look at these numbers here, 800 kills from these 3 archers, that's just crushing these guys. So were I commanding the Cumans, what I would have done is whatever possible to kill these archers. I would have basically charged as a line, given up as lost the troops in the front, but had the ones on the sides swoop in from behind, take out these archers. It would have been a completely different battle. But they just kind of stood there and let my archers take them out. So I get what people say when they say that the AI in this game is not exceptional. The last thing I want to say, however, before this episode is over, is that while I mentioned that the Cumans were still fighting as mercenaries for the Nicaean Empire in 1259, you may have noticed that in that battle they fielded 2,000 troops, whereas in the previous battle they fielded 40,000, which was in the 11th century. The reality is that the Cumans were mostly destroyed by the Mongol invasions in the late 1230s. And those few that survived moved west or north. They moved into Russia or Romania or Hungary, and some moved into the empire. So at that point, while they were still historically notable, like I said, they fought in the Battle of Pelagonia, they ceased to be an independent people, really. They were, for the most part, crushed by the Mongols. So, personally, I consider that to be an unfortunate end for people who, even if they only did it for the money, potentially saved the Byzantine Empire. So, once again, I am Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.